Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode of League of Primos Weekly Review. That's right, Week 10 of Lapwar. Got a lot going on this week for you guys. We guys have our games that went this past week. We have our lowest and highest scores, our power rankings, a lot of switch up in the power rankings, you'll like that. And this week, I will also go over the current playoff projections. That's right, if the season were in today, I'll tell you guys where we'd all stand in those playoffs. We have the torture wheel coming up, and then we end with next week's games, so let's get into it. Our first game of the week, we have Tevat Tanks versus Cleese Jumpty Dumpties, and I'm not gonna lie to you folks, I have seen more enthralling gameplay at the Senior Citizens Women's Mahjong Night. Not that I haven't been invited, ever since I mocked Gertrude's Snickerdoodle recipe, that dirty old hag. But this game was, what a dog might say, rough. I mean, Bonbon started someone on a bye. His defense got -4 points, and his kicker went 1 for 4. He had 0 score over 20 points, and the highest score for the entirety for both teams was Terry McLaurin with 21.3 points. I win in a dogfight, rough, 96.44 to 62.58. In the second one, we have Jack Sparrow versus the Hogwarts Wizards. The game of the week did not disappoint this week, in which I refer to as the Baby Ball. The known sex havers went neck and neck this week. Christian got 28.82 from Brock Purdy, 21.2 from Jonathan Taylor, and a whopping 36.4 from Bajan Robinson. Insert my weekly, I wish I had Bajan still meme here. But Christian knows there's a reason why we call her Awison, and that's because she does not take L's, squeaking this one by just under 3 points, 136.12 to 138.9. She didn't have huge numbers this week, but all of her team, except for one player, scored over 10 points in double digits there. She had Chase Brown leading the way with 22.4 points, and a whopping 20 points from the Eagles defense, crushing big-time Cooper Rush and the Cowboys with a pick and 4 fumbles. Happy wife is a happy life, and sometimes it's just better to let the wife win. So there you go. Also, happy anniversary, Christian Allison. After that, we got the Red Lobster Cheddar Biscuits versus the Bin Laden Bombers. And if we want to talk about neck and neck like the last game was, this one was decided by 1.09 points this week. One of our closest, if not the closest of the week, of the year, definitely of the week. Now, going to keep it real with you folks. If someone told me that someone would go on to win, starting one guy on a bye, 2 guys on the IR, I would not believe you. However, it does help when Joe Burrow goes out and scores 47.72 points. That was a difference maker there. Christian El Blanco really needed one catch to win, didn't get it. Still not as embarrassing as Christian de Cafe's losing to the All-Cowboys team last year. So, at least there's that. After that, we have El Hamburglar versus Kevin's awesome team. I guess this was a very competitive week this week. This game decided by just under 7 points. Kevin may have to reconsider starting Amari Cooper after this week. Second week in a row he's been out. Granted, that would not have changed much. I think his highest bench score was like 4.2 points or like 6 points. Would not have mattered if he did start him. Kevin's awesome team losing 109.74 to 102.98. The leading scorer for El Hamburglar was James Conner with 22.3 points. Not a lot of scoring outside of that, but a great game nonetheless. Very close game. After that, we have our Big Tree City Big Bears versus the Rusty Trombones. And would you believe it or not, another close game. This one decided by a 4.5 point difference this week. We had the clash of Christians last week. This week we had the battle of Nick's Krieg, who Nickel wins and who Nickel lost. And I will tell you there, I said I would choose Nick to win this game, and I was right. Again, decided by 4.5 points. Lamar Jackson had 34.9. George Pickens with 20.5. Calvin Ridley, 22.4. And the Minnesota D adding 5 points. Oh, yeah, we love the D here in Minnesota. But then we have my Uncle Nick, who had only one person score for over 18 points, which you may think, okay, well, that means he's the person that lost. However, it was Jamar Chase, who had a whopping 69.4 points this week, which may make you think, hey, David, we may want to reconsider our bonus scores, which, man, that's something to talk to the commission board this offseason. Who knows? Comment down below, I guess not comment down below, just put in the group chat whether or not you think we should probably change some of these bonus scores. But hey, that's just a theory. A game! After that, we have Lauren's Optimum Team versus Kevin James Hot. Lauren got some shoddy QB play from Aaron Rodgers, only scoring 4.04 points for her. However, a nice 20.4 from Travis Swift, 19 from Rashad White, And then a whopping 31.9 points from Chubba Hubba. Dylan got 18.1 from Russ, 17 from Joe Mixon, and 20.9 from AJ Brown. However, this was not enough because Lauren wins 116.14 to 102.2. Ladies and gentlemen, that makes that 2 weeks in a row for a win, and we like to call that a win streak. Lauren now finds herself just outside the playoff picture on tiebreakers, so keep these wins up and maybe we'll see her in the playoffs. We then have our last game of the week, Branditos Banditos versus I Paid My Taxes. Actually, another close game. This one decided by less than 8 points. However, it was a much lackluster game. We have people who are starting, people who are hurt. We have people who are on a bye being started. It may have been lackluster, but again, it was a very tight game. Jalen Hurts, 29.68 points for 4 total touchdowns, and added Cortland Sutton with 19 points there for Brandito. However, it was not enough. Simi had Kyler Murray at 28.74 points, even with Black Ops 6 dropping. And then you have 18.8 from Puka Nacua. Simi getting the win here. Honestly, it was a great week of games, you guys. Outside of Bombay and Mine's game, all the games were decided within 12 points this week. That's 2 touchdowns. That's amazing. That's probably one of the better weeks we had. Not really that many blowouts. A nail-biter for everyone. And you'll have to see it, especially with these playoffs coming up very shortly here. Like to see all these close games, nail-biters. All the points are starting to matter, so it's going to be interesting to see how this one ends. Right after that, we are going into our highest score of the week. Abe Lincoln's Rusty Trombones. Outside of our 16th president getting dome rocked and assigned the Delvin Odd sexual behaviors. And if you don't know what an Abe Lincoln is or Rusty Trombone, I don't suggest looking it up. But if you do, Urban Dictionary, obviously. He was hot this week, though, scoring 155.6 points. I reached out to old St. Nick, and he did not respond because he was too busy rewatching every episode of Mr. Meaty. Odd, but true. Or not. I don't know if that's considered slander, so. But anyway, I guess with that being said, play the music.
I am the best. No one else is any better. Maybe they're as good, but that's still a tie for the best. No one else is me. I'm the best round guy in the universe.
And then we go into our lowest score of the week, which was, again, Bon Bon. However, we have already made the rule that we're not going to count AI Bot there as our worst score. You know, for a while there, I was worried that I was going to be the second lowest score and win at the same time, which would have been interesting to have done because I'm like, yay, I won, but oh my goodness, I sucked too. At least I didn't suck that hard. But it wasn't me this week. We got Brandon, who is getting the honor this week with 86.4 points. I reached out to him based on his performance or lack thereof this past week, which he responded with, I was too busy playing Black Ops 6 to check my lineup. And he went full Kyler Murray, it would appear on us. So, you know, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you got to play some blues. Let's play the music.
Oh God, to my balls, to my butthole, baby. Oh my God, what did I do? I can't take a dump, 'cause now my balls are blocking up my butthole. My lady doesn't want a life of watching her man use a butter knife, face down ass up.
All right, and that's going to get us into our power rankings this week. A lot of switch up this week. You'll be very interested to see it. Starting 14-1 at 14, Branditos Banditos going to last place. 13, I Pay My Taxes. 14-13. At 12, we got Tavat Tanks, Bot dropping all the way back into the last 3. At 11, Lauren's Optimum Team. She was 14 all year. She wins 2 games in a row. She was from 14-11 in this couple weeks. Like to see the come up. I told you, starts a win streak. Got to stay hot. At number 10, Cleese Jumpty Dumpties. 9, we have Bin Laden's Bombers. 8, Abe Lincoln's Rusty Trombones. At 7, the Red Lobster Cheddar Biscuits. 6, Kevin's Awesome Team. 5, the Big Tree City Big Bears. 4, Kevin James Hot. 3, Jack Sparrow's Tight Ends. And 2, El Hamburglar, which means, yes, at number 1, Allison. Hogwarts Wizards claiming her spot back. And at this point, El Hamburglar must be wondering, what do they have to do to claim that top spot? Because it keeps flip-flopping between Christian and Allison, just kind of skipping them. But as you'll see where he's seated here in a little bit. All right, and I'm going to actually go into that now. We're going to go into our standings updates. We're a little bit halfway through the season. Again, there are only 4 games left of the regular season. So here is how the breakdown is. In the Tavat section, we have first place tie, El Hamburglar and Jack Sparrow at 8-2. Then we have a 4-way tie for third place in that division. Red Lobster, Cheddar Biscuits, Big Tree City, Big Bears, Cleese Jumpy Dumpties, and Lauren's Optimum Team at 4 and 6. And in last is 3 and 7, Branditos Banditos. In the League of Legends division, we have 1, Hogwarts Wizards at 8 and 2. Second place is Kevin James Hot at 6 and 4. At the third spot is Kevin's Awesome Team at 5 and 5. Tied last, everyone else. We have Bin Laden, Abe Lincoln, Tavat, and I Pay My Taxes all tied for that last spot. And, there are only 4 weeks left until playoffs, as I said. And if the season were to end today, I'm going to tell you guys how the seeding would be. Elham Burglar would get a first-round bye with the first spot. We have Hogwarts Wizards with the 2 seed versus the 7 seed Bin Laden's Bombers. We have the 3 seed Jack Sparrow's Tight Ends versus the 6 seed Red Lobster Cheddar Biscuits. And the 4 seed Kevin James Hot versus the 5 seed Kevin's Awesome Team. There are 4 people tied at 4 and 6. Only 2 people in the playoffs have 4 and 6 records. 2 do not. I'm not really sure how the tiebreakers work there, and quite frankly, my team of scientists and I have no idea how it works. And I, do not want to open that can of fried worms and eat them, so I am not going to try to figure out how that works. Brooklyn's staring at me right now outside the camera. A bit. Is it taco time?
No.
Oh. And we're back to our League of Primos torture wheel. I did not lose last week, so I did not have to punish myself. I get to start all my players. Brooklyn thinks this is lame, by the way. Her off camera. She told me.
That's not what I said.
She said this isn't a lame idea. She didn't like it.
No. I said that having to bench one of your players is lame. I think they should all be funny ones like the hot chips and the ranch soda.
But I don't think you understand is the fact that if I lose,
I understand
have to
that.
do it
That's
again.
why I don't think it's fun.
Okay.
I think the ones that torture you are more fun.
Anyway, so thanks Brooklyn for her input. My hair is slowly getting messier, so we're gonna spin the wheel. So this week, if I lose, I have to. Oh, here we go. So we have forced location.
What's that mean?
This means if I were to lose this week, the person who beats me gets to choose what I have to rename my team to. So my team gets rebranded to whatever city team or
that's
whatever
a fun one.
whatever
It
name
doesn't
they want
torture
to.
you that much, though.
Doesn't torture me that much, but then it gives me a new identity. So you go. So if I believe it's Allison who I'm playing this week, who's the number 1 team in fantasy. So if I were to lose to Allison this week, Allison gets to choose what my team new name is. So there we go. Right, and the last part.
What?
I don't want to have to pay you for screen time. And for the last part of the game video, it's going to be next week's games. Number 1 is going to be Hogwarts Wizards versus Cleese Jumpty Dumpties. And if there's any team I would not want to meet up with in fantasy, this team be probably this team. I really want to make the playoffs. I'm tied for one of the spots right now, just outside. And also, if I lose, I have to change my team name. So that's going to be interesting. Allison, take mercy. After that, we have Tavat Tanks versus the Red Lobster Cheddar Biscuits. Both teams tied at 4 and 6 with playoff hopes on the line. Cheddar Biscuits, that's your brother, by the way, if you didn't know.
That's my former team.
That's your former team. Yeah, that's right. We have former manager of the team. She relinquished her rights, sold the team against Bot this week. And I'm not sure how that's going to work. Bonbon's team is interesting. He's either really hot or does not change anybody and is really bad. After that, we have Bin Laden's Bombers versus Elham Burglar. Again, playoff elimination implications in the balance here with 1 seed on the line. Elham Burglar is looking to claim that 1 seed. Bin Laden's Bombers, I believe, is just inside the playoffs at 4 and 6 right now. They have one of the tiebreakers, I believe, and so they are in the playoffs. Then we have Kevin James. No, we don't. We have Kevin's Awesome Team versus the Big Tree City Big Bears. More playoff implications on the line here. Again, a lot of teams who are 5 and 4, 4 and 6 are looking to be 4 and 6, be 5 and 5 or 4 and 6, looking to get into the playoffs here. Next one, we have the game of the week. We have Lauren's Optimum Team versus Abe Lincoln's Rusty Trombone. Lauren looking to increase here with a 3-game win streak, and Old Saint Nick coming off the highest score of the week. Another one of those 4 and 6 teams looking to squeak into the playoffs. Of course, she started off the season, I believe, 0 and 5, and then winning 3 of the last 4 games. And then we have Kevin James Hot versus Branditos Banditos. A loss here would pretty much be certain that Brandon would not make the playoffs this year. And Kevin James Hot looking to hopefully clinch a playoff spot soon. I believe he's at 6 and 4. So he wants to keep that win streak alive just to make the playoffs for sure. And in the last game of the week, We have I Paid My Taxes versus Jack Sparrow's tight ends. Jack Sparrow's tight ends getting his only second loss of the season this week. And then Simi looking to stay in the playoff picture. Again, another one of those 4-6 teams. So, there's only 4 weeks left. It's going to be important. Check your lineups. Make sure people are on IR. The trade deadline, I believe, is 2 weeks from now. I believe Thanksgiving week is the trade deadline. So if you have any trades you want to throw out there, Christian, that's probably you, the only person who's throwing out any trades. It's literally every 5 seconds. If you want to throw out any trades, go ahead and do that. Doesn't mean it's going to get accepted. I'm not giving you McLaurin for Madison and for Tyreek Hill right now. So, no thank you. But yeah, hope you guys have a good week. Enjoy it. Thanksgiving coming in 2 weeks. Make sure you're thankful in 2 weeks from now. Why are you wanting me?
Why can't you be thankful now?
Why would I be thankful now? It's not
Whoa.
I'm going to have tacos and sleep on the couch tonight. Have a good week, guys.
Oh, you touch my tra-la-la. My ding-ding.